Cruise, and I love Molly Sleuth.
I am the eyes and ears of this institution.
Mama don't like tattletales.
Who knows? In 1,000 years, even you may be worth something.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Room for one more penny.
Today we face the monsters that are at our door.
I think we live in overstimulated times.
Happy Friday! Yeah, I know. You know what's getting me all jazzed are these emotes. Like, I just want to do that for 2 hours. So,
That would be a
entertain
great show.
yourselves, because I found Mexican pizzas and Pac-Man and like all kinds of good stuff. Hi everybody, it's a Friday. I am Molly Sleuth. I don't know, there's a whole long story. You'll have to watch some episodes or something. I am no one, but today we're talking about nothing, and that should be kind of fun. But we have a someone here, which I'm very excited about, the unveiling of the man. Do we even say your screen name that you go by?
What screen name do I go by?
Jesus fuck, this is gonna be a long fucking show, isn't it?
I don't even know who I am, so
Oh, you have Benjury. What, sir? Okay, we have.
that's my profession. I'm sorry.
We're gonna get polished. I even have videos. I brought screenshots. I brought images. I've got cue cards. This is gonna get a little bit better, I swear. Hey, Ghost Pepper over on Pilled, friend. Did I make you a moderator? Because I would love for you to set us to a raid afterwards for anybody who might see us on
And just
Pilled or
ban
us on
anyone.
Rumble. We're also
Ban everyone.
and just ban everyone but
Just
yourself.
go crazy banning everyone.
All about you. This show is about you tonight, Ghost Pepper. But we have Rod over on Rumble, which is very exciting. You found the shark meme, or the shark emote, which I'm very happy about. Okay, Ben, who the hell are you? Who are you? I don't know who you are or where you came from, but from now on, you do as I tell you. Someone get this walking carpet out of my way. That's from Star Wars. I know you thought I was having a seizure, but it's not.
Well, I was born a poor black child. I'm a former composer. I've written a lot of music, including the intro and outro for our very own Molly Sleuth show.
Was that like your claim to fame?
That's
I know
my
you were a
main
Tuba
claim to
kid.
fame.
Your main claim to fame. That's sad.
I mean, that was then. This is now.
Oh,
Now
okay.
I'm writing very glamorous music from the Molly Sleuth show.
Yeah.
I also wrote the intro and outro music to, what is it, Meme Wars?
Nevs
By
is
our
Meme
friend
Wars.
Nevs.
Yep. Nevs runs Meme Wars every Saturday over on YouTube. I think I'm the only one that watches on YouTube, so the party is always on Rumble. That's where the chat is just going off. But every week on Saturday morning, she does a meme contest. And if you're over on Telegram, you submit memes. It's just for glory, but there is a winner announced every week. And she's always looking for guest hosts too, which I've been on a couple of times. And it's a good time. But you did kind of a fun sort of play on Star Wars for her Meme Wars show.
Like when I was writing it, I thought Meme Wars was based on Star Wars, so I wrote kind of the theme was based on Star Wars, and I gave it to her, and she was like, "I don't like Star Wars."
Nabs.
Okay, well, it's already written, so that's what you get.
Okay, but so talk about when you did mine, because we've since become like super close friends, but like we didn't really know each other very much when you wrote that. So how did you get me? How did you know?
Well, I forget what you were using. Did you even have? Oh wait, you gotta take your drugs first, right?
I need some candy necklace real quick.
Well, what were you
Who
using
doesn't
for
like
your
Star Wars?
intro before, like last year? It was kind of different every week, wasn't it?
I used real music, and then I didn't go on YouTube until like
Oh,
the
you
actual
used real
songs.
music.
No, I mean like I used something like from my iPod from like 1996.
Real music. Okay.
Not, you know what I mean? Like a CD, whatever. And then I couldn't go live on YouTube until the music was done. And then I had to leave YouTube to
Yeah.
play an outro song.
So the way around that was to write original music, and that's what I came up with. And we were
Which I
also
never
looking
thought
for
I'd
like
get.
what?
Which I never thought I would get. I mean, that
Mhm.
was like for other people,
For bigger
not
star.
me. Me, Rod, and Ghost Pepper on a Friday night. Woo!
But
Is
so
that an
then,
edible necklace? If it's not edible, I hope I have a good dentist.
I mean, it could be plastic. It could be like Chinese plastic.
I mean, we eat enough of that anyway. So where did you come up with the idea? No, actually, the first idea was like a reggae song, or was that for Protect
That
and
was for
Swerve?
Protect and Swerve.
And I was like,
Because that
reggae?
was like the Bad Boys thing, you know, the inner
Okay.
circle. Yeah.
Right, but you understand that Bad Boys, they used a reggae song because it was about cops and not because it was reggae.
Look, I am a reggae fan. That's what I grew up on.
Ew,
It's
are
in
you?
my DNA. No,
Can you do reggae on the tuba?
there's no reggae fans. Nobody's a reggae
There's no
fan.
reggae fan. There are, but
Reggae is a psyop. There's no reggae.
really?
Maybe. Possibly. Well, so anyway, we needed original music so you could go live on YouTube. And then at the same time, we were thinking about doing like just an intro video to kind of give the show a brand identity. Since like when you watch a TV show, you always have an intro. And I've always been interested in film music and TV music. That's kind of what I grew up on, and what got me into music was listening to that kind of like soundtracks. So I think that's what comes out naturally when I write. And yeah, I just kind of came up with a theme that seemed like it fit you. And
Totally
I like
did.
listening to it.
There were all kinds of good like movie quotes from like my favorite movie monsters, and it was sort of like neon and vintage, and like it was kind of just everything. Hey Pammy over on YouTube holding down the fort. Yeah, it was so great. It was flawless. There weren't any changes. It was just print. Which is funny because 100 years ago when I was an actor in LA, I was doing a website, but it wasn't just going to be acting. I was raising Black Widow spiders for the Los Angeles Natural History Museum, and like there were a lot of side quests going on that website. And so I had actually hired somebody to make the front page of my website. And it was just like the stupidest Flash bullshit with these like 6-legged spiders like coming down and like dancing like skeleton gifs. And I was just like, this isn't, no. Like, I don't know.
And that's from the era of hamster dance.
Yeah, even maybe earlier. I think this was maybe 2001, 2002. And so then I took a 3-night class at Los Angeles City College, and I made my own website. And every year when I go to renew it on the phone with GoDaddy, they're always like, this is the greatest thing. Like, this is like antiquated tech. I'm like, it was pretty like cutting edge for me. It was really hard to learn all of that, to make the buttons. And I don't even know if Dreamweaver exists anymore, but
Yeah, not for like 3 decades or so.
I'm old, all right. Okay, so tonight we're gonna do a little life update and such. So tell us like what you're doing now. Are people Are you available to do other podcasters' music?
I'm certainly available. I don't really know how to get that kind of work, apparently, since I've been trying for the past year and can't really seem to find anyone.
Okay, but you're like...
Hint.
But, okay, you've been producing my show.
I have been producing your show.
By producing, like, you take all my calls while I'm, like, panicking, like, I can't find the image. I don't know. Like, can you download this thing? Help me.
I'm also just keeping people from tripping over your power cord and, like, losing connection. So I just sit there with a stick and whack people when they walk by.
Listen,
it's not a very active job, I'll say.
Yeah. We're about to see my Amish technology tonight. So I do have some photos that were taken from my Samsung Galaxy J7 Prime 2016 phone with no updates. So,
wow.
Yes, nothing but the best for me. Well, how would people get a hold of you then if they were interested in you doing something for them?
I can put my email in the chat. That's probably not a good idea, is it?
Prepared. I don't know. You can put your phone number for all I give a shit. I'm going to be posting a prostitute's phone number later in the show. So
all right, let me just put my address down and I'll dox myself.
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Boom.
That's only on Rumble. Can I say that out loud?
Yes.
Ben
Can you?
McMillan, McMillan, composer at gmail.com. Ben McMillan, composer at gmail.com. Send him your favorite schlong photos.
Please, and make them as high resolution as possible.
I want to see pores.
Exactly.
Excellent. Speaking of wieners, I have been hard at work at the fire department, so maybe we'll start there with a little update. Just figure like homoeroticism, firefighters. No, but I've been doing, well, you know, because I talk to you all the time, that I am working so freaking hard to get my engineer's helmet at the fire department. So we've been doing a lot of training. I'm sore, freaking tired. There will be an end to this, good or bad, pass or fail. It will be over soon, and that's all I can say. I did pass my driver test in the fire truck. That one wasn't hard though, because we've been doing a lot of driver training, and that's what I have a picture of this for. And my map test, which wasn't a big deal. And last night I was engineering hand lines and stuff like that, but it's all super boring stuff and nobody gives a shit. So let's get to the pictures. Let's get to the AI photos. Okay, so we have all these new kids that have been hired to the fire department, and they're so like fresh, and they're just so like wide-eyed, and they can't wait to like be real firefighters. And it's just exciting to see that kind of enthusiasm, and you can tell as they're learning to drive on the fire truck that they're just like, oh my gosh, this is so monumental to me, because, you know, they've probably never been in a truck this giant, and then you're just like essentially handing them the keys, although there actually aren't any keys to the fire truck. There's just a system that you need to know to turn on. But you can tell that they're kind of excited about it. And like, we never have our phones on us. One, you don't want them to burn up or fall out of your pocket or get crushed or whatever. But on these driving trainings, I bring my phone and I take pictures of kids. They're like 20s, while we're driving the truck, just so that they have like a little memento of their like first ride in the fire truck. So we hired this one kid, and he's just so cool. He's just a really cool guy, and we're lucky to have him. So hardworking. Let me put him on. He doesn't know that I'm sharing this picture, by the way. So like, if he's your baby daddy or something, sorry, we're just coworkers. Okay. So I took this picture while we're driving around, and I was like, ew, I look fucking enormous. What the hell? And he looks like so tiny. I mean, I know I'm holding the camera and he's not the tallest guy in the world, but like, I looked really huge. And then Maddie, who you know, my my best friend from the Hollywood goth scene, AI'd it, and this is what he made. That motherfucker. So stupid. And when I got this photo, I hyperventilated. I think I had an asthma attack. Like, not only did he make me like bigger, but I'm just fatter in every way, which was fucking awesome. And then like little mini Kev sitting there looking all mini. Dude, I don't know. I just have to show that to anybody who will look at it because for whatever reason, I just think it's fantastically hysterical. So yeah.
Gandalf and Frodo.
I don't know. I think it needs to go someplace. I don't know where it's gonna go, but it's gonna go. I'm crushing your head. Yes, exactly. Matt is a rude boy that did rude things. So, okay. Well, tonight we're talking about vacations. I went on a little vacation last weekend. It was a blitzkrieg. There's a lot to debrief.
Where did you go?
That's what the next hour and a half is about, Ben. Keep up.
Oh, that's convenient.
But I also just want to talk about zoos and and vacations and also caving, which is like one of my like super things that I super love. Yes.
In Latin, they say that's spelunking.
Spelunking, yes. We're going to learn some caving terms tonight. Different kinds of formations in the cave. And somehow it all links to a prostitute's phone number that I'm going to share with you tonight. So it's going to be good.
How would you rate her?
Oh, I didn't actually call the number. I was kind of hoping one of you would.
Can we do that like live on the show?
Do you think I have the technology for that? You're making me smoke. I'm going to have to smoke now.
I'm stressing you out too much.
I got some candy cigarettes. Oh, what? Didn't they used to have a little red nubby thing on the end? Was it just that one that I got cheated on? Didn't the candy ones used to have like a red little thing on them?
I don't recall.
Oh, yeah.
The propaganda didn't work on me. I was never a smoker.
You were born in the 80s. You had to have been born before the 80s to understand the 80s. We were all smokers. Then
I got those in my Halloween candy.
Wait, how do you do cigarettes? Like this? How to make sure the tobacco is good.
That's how you activate the tobacco with the candy.
Oh my god, they're just like I remember. Different colors. Okay, but do they work? They never had the little fake filter on them. They were just white.
They gotta teach the kids to hold them correctly, like this.
I already used this one. They have like the powder in them. You didn't have
I've never
these?
seen them with powder before.
Bro, that's the whole fucking point. You take the cigarette instead of inhaling, you blow out and it makes it look like smoke.
I don't know. We just ate them because they were candy.
These ones are bubblegum. Shit.
This show not brought to you by Marlboro.
By Victory Fake Cigarettes. $1.95 these cost me. You know what? These were probably like 25 cents back in the day.
Yeah, inflation's a bitch.
What a bitch. I also got this. I don't know that I'm going to be brave enough, but you probably want me to try it. Okay, do you remember candy buttons? I know Rod does. They're like little button candies. But these ones are cinnamon, and they go from hot to like you hate life. And I do like cinnamon.
I'm already there, trust me.
I kind of want to eat them. I was chewing bubblegum dip. Ooh, the Big League Chew.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember Big League Chew. Oh, they smell cinnamony. Should I eat one? I'm going to just try hot.
Are they psychedelics? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, so I'm going to start tripping balls. Okay, that was just the regular hot one. Oh shit.
You literally have steam coming out of your ears right now.
That was rude. Oh. What? I thought they were kidding. I thought these were just going to taste like a little cinnamon candy. That's rude. Straight fucking rude.
That was just like the base one?
That was the base one. That was at the bottom of the pile, bro. Couldn't
Eat
get
the
it.
entire sheet. You'll go crazy.
That was spicy. Oh. Hold on. I need a cigarette.
Oh, is that good?
Somebody peel my cigarette. That was terrible. My tongue is on fire, you guys. This is fucking rude. Oh, yeah. These are just like I remember them. They're hard as fucking rocks. I'm glad I'm a good brusher.
We're just going to eat candy on the show tonight. I don't have any, so
Listen,
I'm
I
just
can
going to
go
watch
down
Molly do it.
and get my toothpaste and just brush my teeth for 2 hours. I don't give a shit. I also have a sucker. I won't be doing that on the air because you guys will take screenshots and do things to it. Oh my God. When I was a young model, I already was like, people are fucking retarded. But this one guy asked for a picture of my uvula, which I had no idea what the hell that is. But it's a little dingle dangle in the back of your throat. And I don't know if he was going to like cut a hole in a piece of paper and play cornhole. Listen, Ben, you haven't lived a life.
Nobody plays cornhole.
They do in Michigan. I didn't know it was a thing, but people are really serious about it, and people own their own cornhole boards.
That's sad. I feel bad for those people.
Oh.
Yes, I'm a professional cornhole player. I'm actually rated #1 in the universe.
You play cornhole? Mm.
Wasn't there a guy recently that had like no arms and he was a cornhole champion and he killed someone with a gun?
And, dude, my tongue is still burning. Candy cigarettes, the gateway drug. Totally. Rod, I have like a burn right fucking there. Wait, let me show you. Right fucking there.
There's a hole in your tongue.
I'm not kidding you. This was spicier than it should have been. For anybody that wants to kill people that like candy, they're called Candy Buttons Fire. That was rude. Straight rude. All right. Enough of the bullshit. Let's get on to my road trip. I ate so much candy this weekend. Candy and burgers. I love hole-in-the-wall places, little one-offs, mom-and-pop places. And we found a bunch. I went with my friend Marie. I didn't ask her to share any photos, so I don't have any photos of her for the weekend because, you know, what stays in Ohio happened in Ohio. I don't know where that's going.
I don't think that's the thing.
It's close enough.
It's close enough.
It's close enough. So, a lot of candy was eaten. So many things. Ooh, we got this bag of chips. I think I told you. It was called like sweet pepper.
A sweet chili.
Thank you. Ew, how do you remember that? Do you
Because
remember?
you were like really adamant about how bad it was.
It was so bad. You know the sickly sweet smell of a dumpster combined with the fart of an old dog that's dying? Married
I think
together.
we're all familiar with that smell.
Married together, sweet chili. We got it from some weird ethnic store. It looked promising, but even opening the bag, you already had like supreme sweet dumpster dog fart smell. Marie did not try one, but that was just because in horror, I threw the entire bag away. And then somehow, she must be a glutton for punishment. She was like, oh, now I can't try one. Like, Did you not see what I just went through, scraping my tongue with my finger? But yes, that was
Did you
gross.
say they were from like a Middle Eastern store?
Yeah, they were next to a place that we went to for line dancing, which I didn't take any pictures there. I was wearing this like eyeball suit. It was a whole thing. I think I have a couple pictures from the night, but I have cave photos loaded. So
So to be clear, this is not Middle Eastern line dancing.
no, it was like a cowboy place, but I think we were like the only straight people in the place.
Yeah, that seems about right.
It was a very odd place, is all I have to say. Very odd indeed. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. These would be screenshots. Okay, we did a whole bunch of things. I'm just looking for pictures right now. So pardon me. How do I make that small? Why won't it be small? Okay, cancel. Amish tech, man, it's a bitch. So we did that whole thing. We went down. So I'm in Lansing, Michigan. We went down to Dayton, Ohio for the Gothic Market, which is sort of like a Gothic sort of flea market where you can get all kinds of like spooky artisan handmade crafts and stuff like that. And so we were like, hell yeah, because that's how we met here in Michigan, although she's from San Diego, which we will talk about the San Diego Zoo tonight. But we met in Michigan, became friends because we both love Halloween shit. And so we're like, dude, let's get in the car. Let's go do this. And I was actually kind of disappointed. There were some really cool booths there. But as you know, I've been like doing my whole house up. I already have everything I need and more. And so I don't know that I was looking for anything in particular, but I was kind of disappointed and saw like a lot of Temu stuff. I am no stranger to buying absolute abject, like child slavery garbage off the internet. I got this shirt. It's so cute. For like $2.36. So, you know, it was made legitimately. And there was like a lot of booths that were selling that kind of stuff where I'm like, oh, $30, huh? Like, I have that on my Temu cart right now. Temu Goth. Exactly, Rod. And so I passed up a lot of those. I did make some friends with a couple of cool girls. And so I might bring them on the show. We'll see. They're like both like podcasts. What are you talking about?
For the guys in the audience, can you tell us how to do that? How do we make friends with girls?
You just walk up to people and talk to them. I make so many friends that my friend Marie is just like, Marie's like the child in the grocery store that's like, mom's got her talking to her friend again. Like, where she's like, can we fucking go? I'm hungry. I just make friends everywhere I go. Actually, I was wearing a Skinny Puppy shirt to the Gothic Market, and this one girl was like, Skinny Puppy. I was like, fuck yeah. And then it turned out that we're both from LA, and now she lives in Pittsburgh, I think. And she's like, oh, that makes sense then, Skinny Puppy. I was like, what? I thought Skinny Puppy is like, everybody loves Skinny Puppy. But apparently it's an LA thing. So anyway, I made friends with her, and we talked for like 45 minutes and had such a great time. And then Marie was like tapping her toe, like, come on, let's go. And the girl was like, what am I going to talk about on the show? Like, we just talked about 45 minutes about nothing, just standing here. Like, it'll happen. So anyway, Gothic Market, it was all right. But had I had nothing else to do driving down to Ohio, I wouldn't go again. Sorry, Gothic Market. It was cool, but I guess like I'm not, well, I say that. I'm not maybe a traditional kind of goth girl. Like, I don't need black lipstick and devil wings and...
You're not goth then.
Fine. Rip up my ID card if I ever had one. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's revoked. Sorry.
I like what I like. I bought a couple of, I collect mineral spheres, and there were lots of like witchy crystals and whatever. And so I love mineral spheres. So I got a couple of really good ones. And then I got this wood carved skull dude. which I liked. And that was kind of it. And then like a lot of food. Marie's a very bad influence on me. I don't know that I can afford to hang out with her anymore. Just like the quest for carbohydrates never ends, and I cannot say no when I'm with her because we're just always looking for trouble.
If you were on the carnivore diet, you wouldn't have that problem.
But see, then I would just be like, oh, a little mustard and ketchup can't hurt. And then
mustard's fine. You just not ketchup.
But then it would be like all sloppy and you need the bun just to keep your hands clean. Because what are you going to do? Wrap it in a napkin? No, you need a bun. And then you're eating a burger, so just fucking do it. Anyway, I had lost all this weight, and then I just found it, and I brought some friends last weekend, so I got to get back on my shit and get my life together. But it's probably not going to start until after this cookie candy necklace is gone. And these things are probably going in the trash.
Oh, that might start a fire, but okay.
Have you ever played Bean Boozled?
Is that a word?
Oh my god. I want to send you Bean Boozled. Bean Boozled. I'm going to be very serious for a second. I know I joke about everything. Bean Boozled should honestly not be legal. It is so fucked up. Ruining children's lives everywhere.
I gotta play this now. Let's do it.
This jelly bean company, I don't know if it's Jelly Belly, I don't know who does it, but it's like Harry Potter or whatever. This like they do different variations of it, but Bean Boozled is like a gambling game.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Candy.
Okay.
And you can buy just a little packet and pop it open, or you could buy the big one that comes with like a wheel or something that you spin, and it tells you to eat the little white one or whatever. And the white one could be coconut or it could be dirty socks.
Right.
And I've never eaten a dirty sock, but I can tell you that all of these evil flavors taste exactly like you think that thing would. And so it makes your mind wonder, how do they have chemicals that people in a laboratory are like, that is just like a dirty diaper, do it. How do they know? I don't know. But they have skunk, dirty socks, dirty diaper, boogers, grass, toothpaste. That one's not that bad. And just a bunch.
So what are the bad flavors then?
I'm mailing you Bean Boozled. It's so disgusting. Anyway, it made my nephews cry. It made the rest of us laugh. It was so wrong.
That should be the slogan on the package. We make kids cry.
It's not false. It really is awful. I don't know how it's even legal. Taste tester for that game is not a job you want. Yeah. How do you like put the dirty diaper one in your mouth? You're like, it needs a little more tang. Like, you wouldn't want to eat more than one of those in your lifetime.
That goes to the intern, I think.
I don't.
Not the janitor at the lab.
This is what we need to do. We need to go undercover in Bean Boozled and find out the scoop.
Oh yeah, we'll be like James O'Keefe, and we'll try and get them on like, what did you call it, honeypot? The scientists. Right,
except for instead of honey, it's dirty diapers.
Dirty diaper pot. The
dirty diaper pot, yes. Yeah, super gross. You're gonna get them, and I'm gonna be on the phone with you, and you fucking eat them all.
What happens if I eat them all at once? Like, do I just go into shock?
I don't know.
My head just explodes.
You might have a seizure. It really is terrible. Has anyone played fucking Bean Boozled? It's so totally disgustingly wrong. All right. Yes, there was a lot of candy. We stopped at a few antique stores. I don't think I bought anything. Again, my budget is nil. And I also, like, the house is buttoning up. This weekend is going to be my housewarming party. So I'm going to get people in the house to come look at it. I'll have to show the pictures later because I've already like put some cavern pictures up. So I'll give you an update on the house after we talk about the caverns.
Stay tuned for more.
stay tuned. Okay, so I love caving. So I guess we'll talk about my favorite cave first. And then I have pictures of Ohio caverns that I went to last weekend, and we'll compare and contrast a little bit because, people are getting ready to go on vacations, etc. I don't know what you just did, but your face says that you just did something dastardly, and I don't know what it was, but I saw a change in your face, and that's all I know. Did your family go on vacations when you were a kid?
Not very much. We did like a few times, maybe to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I think one time to Atlanta to watch the Braves play. But besides that, we weren't like the family that, oh my God, we're going to Disney World, 10 times a year or anything like that.
My family has been on one vacation in our entire lifetime where all 5 of us got in the car and went somewhere together. And that was the Aku Aku Motel on Ventura Boulevard in oh my God, the Valley, because our house was being termite tented for 3 days. So that was
a good time.
It was a really good time. And, that's it. That's the only.
You just ate from the vending machine for 3 days.
I don't know if there even was a vending machine, sir. I couldn't tell you.
Is this like the 1800s, or when are we talking?
It was the 1900s. Don't even. But we went a lot of places. But my dad took us to a lot of places when we were kids, but my mom never wanted to go. So going to the zoo just brings back so much for me as a kid, and just exploration. Was there at least a pool? Listen, dude, I don't even have a full recollection of being at the Aku Aku Motel, except that it was right by this smorgasbord. Smorgasbord or smorgasbord? Anyway, they had Jello squares, and it was so exciting.
Shit.
When my dad wanted to go to the smorgasbord and we could have Jello squares. It was really cool.
The square is the best shape for eating Jello. I know they make the molds and you have all the crazy shapes, but you can't get past just a plain old square.
They were the best.
It brings out the best flavor.
Yeah, they were totally the best. They were so fucking good. And then I don't know what else, but whatever it was.
Doesn't matter. Once you got Jello squares, that's all. Just pile the plates up with that.
Okay. So people are planning vacations, and I don't mean let's go to Gay Paris and see Bridget McCrone smack his husband. I mean America. We got a lot of cool places here.
We do.
And to me, there's nothing better than nature, seeing something cool, a natural feature, whether that's a cave or a big waterfall or whatever, and animals. I'm a little bit conflicted about zoos because, whatever, but I'm going to give you a very good reason why you should love zoos when we talk about zoos. So my very favorite place on planet Earth is a place called Kartchner Caverns. And it's near Tombstone, Arizona, between Tucson and Tombstone. And I guess we'll just start our little tour, and I'll just talk through it as I show some pictures. But such a beautiful place. Oh, wait, I don't need to do that. I already have it loaded.
Before you start, let me just say, if you haven't driven across the country and just seen an area of the country that you haven't seen before, there is so much in the United States. Just so much beautiful scenery, and it's way bigger than you would think if you've never really been outside of your hometown or your home state. So do yourself a favor and drive across the country at some point. Maybe not now while gas is so expensive, but
you lived in Seattle, Hellhole, Portland, whatever area or something.
I lived in Southern Oregon for a while.
Same thing.
Exactly same thing.
Whatever. And did you drive there, or?
While I was living there, I only had a bike, but I did drive to get out there. So that's where my experience, that looks really good. I want a cigarette right now.
Did you ever smoke?
No, I never smoked.
Oh.
But no, I drove from Tennessee to California to Oregon to Utah, and back to Tennessee. And I've lived in other areas of the country too. So I've kind of been around just different biomes in the United States. And there's a lot to offer.
Well, Karcher Caverns is fucking magical. I'm going to tell you exactly why. It's the best cave. It's the best place in America. It's the best place on this planet. It's a story of friendship and exploration and fighting the government and like doing the right thing. It's just got everything. So I'm gonna
pirates?
No pirates allowed.
Pass.
They'll ruin the cave.
Hard pass.
Too much rum. The bats don't want it. So back in 1974, which is not too long ago, unless you're me. And
pretty long ago.
It was pretty long ago. But there were these two friends, Randy and I forgot the other guy's name, I think Gary. And they were spelunkers. They were cavers. And they loved the scrub area between Tombstone and Tucson because of all the limestone. And there were certain like yucca plants that they would look at and go, oh shit, this might have a cave around here, because caves are really made out of limestone because of how it erodes and everything like that. See, I know that you're doing something because I can see your face. You can't hide that. Is that Gary going into the cave?
Yes, Gary and Randy, the spelunkers.
Listen, enough about your homoerotic stuff. We already covered that. We're talking about caving now.
I'm just pointing it out.
Get it together. Okay, so they would go and explore and they would look for caves. And one of them said, you know, there's this one sinkhole that I've checked in, you know, year after year or whatever over here. I know we're looking for better stuff, but let's just go into the sinkhole for a little bit and let's just, you know, plan our day from here, because we know that if there's a sinkhole and it's limestone and the yucca, like we're in the right place. We just got to figure out where we're going to go. So they go down into this room, and it's like a 10-foot by 10-foot room. And they're just so overcome by how like sad and fucked up it is that there's like broken beer bottles and graffiti everywhere. And that, you know, it's only a sinkhole, but like man screws everything up. Anything that's like cool or natural, like let me piss in it, break my beer bottle and write my name, and then let's go ruin something else. So they're kind of lamenting and they're sitting there going like, you know, it's just such a shame. Like you're way out here in the middle of nowhere on this like scrub, and like people ruin everything. Well, just then there's a barometric pressure change and there's a whoosh of air in this small room, the sinkhole. And the air that's floating around is like, oh shit, that smells like a lot of bat guano. And we must be attached to something really big, because bats in that quantity aren't going to live in a 10-foot by 10-foot room. So they just have the little carbide lamps on their heads. And so they're looking around in this sinkhole and they find the size of a grapefruit, a hole that all this air exchange is occurring through. And they're like, this is attached to something really big. So they end up making that hole about 12 inches. Now, if you're going to be a caver, you better be fucking skinny, because there's some squeezing to do. And they had to crawl 250 feet before it widened up to a point that they could stand up. And their lamps had gone out. And all they know is by the echo of their voices, whatever they found was fucking huge. And what do you do with that? You're the first man inside this cave that's like 200,000 years old and has never been discovered by anybody before. So they go back to it many times, trying to figure it out. Now, in caving, you're not supposed to go into a cave without leaving somebody outside. So eventually they get a friend to sit outside. He was reading some like French poetry while these guys are going in. and trying to figure out, like, mapping the cave system. What do we do about it? Like, we really want to share this, but we have to be really careful because we don't want this to become the beer bottles and bullshit that everything else becomes. So there's another big caving system in New Mexico called Carlsbad Caverns. And it's probably the one that most people know about. I have been to Carlsbad Caverns with my friend Monica, and it was so disappointing because, first of all, you park on top of the cave. And so the oil dripping from your car seeps through the limestone, and it makes it so that the cave will no longer grow. They've killed the cave.
Fucking
They
genius.
put a fucking elevator shaft in it. There's a whole like merch booth in the fucking cave.
I got fucking Starbucks inside.
You can buy, yes, there's all kinds of stuff to buy in there. There's bathrooms and running water and bullshit. And everybody in there is just like talking and being fucking obnoxious, and kids just running around touching everything. And they have just fucking ruined it. And so these two guys, Gary and what's his ass, they're like, we don't want to do that. If we share this, we want some kind of guarantee that our great grandkids are going to see the same thing that we saw. And we don't want this cave ruined. So they had a real hard, because you can't really tell anybody. So they call, I believe it was the governor, and who hooked them up with the Nature Conservancy. And they said, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. We can't even like tell you what we're up to or where it is. Like, you have to sign a non-disclosure. First, they go to the people that own the land, the Karchner family, and said, we want to buy this land. You got a cave on it. And they were like, well, we kind of like being here. And our cows really like hanging out on the, on the hill and eating the scrub and all this stuff. And yeah, I don't think we want to move. Well, can we have part of it? There's this whole big thing. You could make quite a bit of money. And as we'll get into from Ohio caverns, like, caves can make a lot of money and cause a lot of land disputes and all kinds of stuff. So they didn't really know how they were going to go about it. So they go to state park and rec, the state, Arizona State Parks. And they said, this is what we want to do. We want to work with you to open this cave, but it's got to be done right. It's got to be done to our specifications. We want to leave it totally natural and beautiful. We don't want to disrupt the biosphere that's going on in there. And we're not even going to tell you where the fuck it is unless you give us $25 million. And the state park and rec was like, okay. So they opened Karchner Caverns, and it is beautiful. There's no bullshit in there. The Smithsonian lit it. Okay, I got to show you just one picture. Let's to start. Oh, let me remove.
What is that horrible creature?
You're that horrible creature.
Oh, shit.
Okay. I don't know that I can't zoom in, so you're fucked. But so there's two tours. Now, I don't know if you can see, probably some of you are watching on your phone, but there's a teeny little dude at the bottom. This is called Kubla Khan, and it is a huge column that's on the second tour in the throne room of Karchner Caverns. I have a book on Karchner Caverns. I probably should have read it before I decided to tell you all about fucking Karchner Caverns, but it's Karchner, I think. And if you go around October-ish, first of all, that's when they reopen. There's two rooms, the big room and the throne room, and you have to do both because they're so very different. I'm going to show you the big room in a second. I did the big room first and the throne room second, and it was so fucking worth it. It is amazing. It'll make you cry. I brought my friend Rose, who's legally blind, through it, and she cried because it's so fucking moving. I pushed my dad in a wheelchair through it, and he was just so amazed. It's fucking awesome. And it's beyond comprehension how amazing that this place is, Kartchner Caverns. Okay, so this is the throne room. Now, they have another room called the big room. And this doesn't look like much, but this was actually my favorite part of the cave, because if you see on the bottom, there are there's a set of footprints that go through this mud. And this beach was made year after year of all these little teeny particles of dirt coming through this limestone, and the shore through monsoon season in Arizona, it will sort of fill up and slowly drain away, and slowly drip after drip fill up and drain away. And so it's created this perfect like shore of kind of like peanut butter consistency. And those footsteps are the original footsteps and the only actual place that you can see where man has interacted with the cave. And they're still there. There's like a PVC pipe next to it that I guess was like 20 feet long, and they just kept pushing it like further and further and further into that like mud, and never found the bottom of it. No idea how deep that goes.
This is from the original exploration.
That's the original exploration. That's Randy and Gary's footsteps as they went through. And so just so cool. They originally called the cave Xanadu or Cave X, which explains Kubla Khan. But it's the only wet cavern in the state of Arizona, and it's still growing. In fact, if you get dripped on from the cave, they call it a cave kiss, and it's supposed to be good luck. But anyway, they still protected the entire ecosystem. Now, this is the room. It's got a lot of bats, and you can see like dark spots on the ceiling where the bats will roost and have their babies from May to October. It's closed. Now, it is totally closed off between people. When you go through it, you are misted down, so your body is the same humidity as the cave. Because one of the things they found with Carlsbad Caverns is that like you go in with your dry t-shirt and your dry jeans and all the shit, and you're sucking moisture out of the freaking cave. And thousands and thousands of people going through it, like they're drying the cave out. And the cave can't grow without that moisture. It's like the perfect conditions. That's how the cave got there. So they are fucking up Carlsbad, but Kartchner didn't want to suffer that same fate. So there's like airlock doors on either side of it, and they just seal those May through October so that the bats can come in. So if you're going to go during, well, I guess it might be too late. They might have closed it. But if you're planning a family trip, if you do it around Halloween-ish, check. But in Tombstone, Arizona, which is like the Birdcage Theater, Shootout at the OK Corral, and like all those old cowboy American stories, they have a week there called Hell Dorado. And people show up dressed as like outlaws and marshals and like, you know, slutty saloon ladies with their corsets on, and like everybody's walking the main drag like all dressed up, and they have like fake shootouts in the road. And it's just, you can get both of those. You can do Kartchner Caverns. It's only like a half an hour to this Hell Dorado thing, and go see like Boot Hill Cemetery and all that stuff. And just like the best trip, like your family, if you have kids, or if it's just you're a kid at heart like me, like it's such a worth it trip. Okay, so the rest of the park in Kartchner, they do have like camping and trails and that kind of stuff. But one of the things they did was that they have electric, you park off-site, and you have an electric tram that takes you past the original hole, because they put that hole back to that grapefruit size because they didn't want to disrupt the bats. The bats want to come and go, so they put that back because the bats know that that's where they get in and out. And then they have these airlock doors elsewhere, but they didn't want any oil dripping, so they've got electric trams that'll take you to the entrance. And it's got a ramp. It's a very gentle trail inside. Like I said, my dear old dad, He sat in a wheelchair and I pushed him through it. There's no like super hills where I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my dad. He's gonna go over the railing. The sides of it come up. Now, if you accidentally touch anything, you don't touch anything, you don't bring in backpacks, you don't like bring in any bullshit. They have lockers because they want the cave to be clean. They don't want, in fact, they make a joke like if you scratch yourself inside the cave, you're feeding the cave crickets. Like they don't want to leave anything in the fucking cave. But the wheelchair was just totally fine. It goes through like perfectly. So if you have anybody with mobility issues, they can get through this. It's not so dark that you can't manage. I mean, I went with my friend Rose and I had to like help her a little bit of the way, but it's lit so beautifully. Like Kartchner Caverns and Ohio Caverns, like you can see like fucking light bulbs and stanchions and wires and all this shit as you go through there. And I'm not kidding, the Smithsonian lit Kartchner Caverns. It's just gorgeous. They highlight like the best stuff. So let's get to some of the formations because that is really the best part of it. I get so excited talking about.
Well, so real quick, we were talking about not touching things. The reason is because you'll have like oil and acid on your hands, and you put that on a cave wall. Now you're changing the way that the water is eroding the stones. You're fucking with the environment of the cave.
Yep, totally. And so if you touch anything, they mark it and then they will clean it with distilled water at the end of the day. And they also clean the track that you walk on has these little like 1 foot walls on the sides because they hose the whole ramp out so that all the nasty human shit is out every day. Because they really don't want to mess with this cave at all. They're really good about that. And so, okay, so here is one of the formations that is everywhere inside the cave. And, remove. Now, these are called soda straws. And just, they are as delicate as you see there. And they're about the size of a straw. And they're actually hollow from the inside. And I guess we should talk a little bit about stalactites versus stalagmites. Tights hold tight to the ceiling. Mites crawl around on the ground. And so as the rain up above gets filtered through all this limestone, it'll take minerals with it. And usually calcium carbonate, which is basically if you've eaten a Tums, you ate part of a fucking cave. Maybe it didn't come from a cave, but same thing. Calcium carbonate comes out. We'll see later there's a lot of red that goes on, and that's just iron oxide or rust that gets in that mineral. And as that water drips, it will dry. And I feel like I've got a good picture. When I get to Ohio Caverns, there's a great picture showing you how these stalactites are formed. But these are interesting. The soda straws, the water is dripping through the center of it. And then as it hovers there before it drips, because it's dripping so freaking slow that it is a perfect little timeline of dripping and drying. And that's how these are made. So it needs to drip to bring the new minerals to the tip, and it needs to dry to solidify that calcium carbonate onto the last little molecule of calcium carbonate. And over thousands and thousands of years, they form these beautiful little soda straws. Now, these are so easy, you could just break them off, and people do, but in Kartchner Caverns, you don't touch shit. Leave it the fuck alone. Okay, this is another formation, and I put this guy in it so that you could see the sheer size of it. This one is, it's called a shield, this sort of formation. And this one they call a wing shield in Kartchner Caverns because from various angles, it does look like an angel wing. And it's just based off of how the water is flowing from the rocks is how it forms. This one is probably one of my favorites. It's called cave bacon. And so as it grows, it forms the spine. And those drips will go along the spine and go along the spine and go along the spine. And some decades have more of this iron oxide, which forms the yellow or the red bands. And some have more of the calcium carbonate, which is the white or the yellow bands. And so after, 200,000 years old is what they think that this cave is, that it has formed cave bacon. I think I have another picture of cave bacon. So, I mean, they're really just so beautiful.
Is the flavor comparable?
I would eat one. It's inside the cave. You don't really like bacon, but don't worry, because they also in Karcher Caverns have a fried egg. Now, this is a stalagmite, meaning it grows from the ground up, and it's got this little pool in the center. And as that plop happens in the center, the splash comes on the outside, and that's how this stalactite or stalagmite is forming, which is very fucking cool. And you walk
That
right
looks like someone just performed liposuction.
Disgusting. I might need liposuction. I just need a few more candy necklaces, and then my insurance will pay for it. Okay, so then this is called flow stone, this sort of formation. And because basically it kind of just looks like lava flowing, but these are just one drip at a time that these happen. And then
frozen waterfall.
Yeah, it's really just so beautiful. And I mean, these are crystals essentially, but it's calcium carbonate. And you can see some bat poop on the ground next to this stuff. Now, a stalactite grows from the ceiling, stalagmite grows from the ground. And when the two meet, it's called a column. And so that Kubla Khan, that massive one, which is about the width around of an SUV, that has become a column after all this time. Now they have something called drapery, which sort of looks like more bacon, but these are much longer, and they're just so beautiful. And that's just drip after drip, making these beautiful patterns. It's just so awesome.
But
okay.
If you study geology, you find out eventually that rock a lot of the times actually does take on sort of a liquid property, even though it's moving at such a slow rate that you don't register it as a human, but you can see patterns like this and go, oh yeah, it has sort of a flow to it. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, just to stand there, I wish I had people in every picture, because then you could really see the magnitude of the size of some of the stuff. But here's another one. These ones are called helictites, I think. Oh, wait, sorry, I didn't add it. Helictites. And you know how like when you put a spoon under the sink and then the water goes straight into your face, no matter which way the spoon is fucking, that's kind of these. Like you have a drip and it just starts like following some queer path, and then they're all just sort of like hairy and strange. So those helictites.
That's mozzarella cheese, isn't it? That's like a close-up of your pizza.
Okay, but all those pictures were taken at Karcher Caverns. I have one more, I think, somewhere in here, screenshot. And that is, so you see how like smooth and perfect that ramp is. You're not having to wear hard hats. You're not having to, like, there's a couple of places where you have to like kind of like shift a little bit, but there's no place where you have to duck, crawl, anything. Like it's so totally accessible for anybody that wants to go and see Karcher Caverns. It's fucking awesome. Like really, honestly, the most beautiful place. And at the end of the throne room tour, which I really suggest you do the big room first, because it's just like, you just can't even take it all in. And that's when they really explain to you cave bacon and weld shields and drapery and blah, blah, blah. And then you have like a real understanding of it when you go into the throne room. And then you're just like thrown into like just monumental, so much of it. And they play this beautiful music and they like change the lighting, and then they turn all the lighting off and you're just in there hearing the music. And it's just so fucking emotional. It's amazing. It really is just like the fucking coolest. So now let's talk about Ohio Caverns. So anytime you go any place, I like to just see what else I can do. Whether I'm walking from like the kitchen to the basement or I'm going on a road trip, I always want to see, is there something I could do en route? Is there something I can bring from here to there or there to here? And that is my function in life. So this is a totally different story. This is not a story of fighting the fucking government. This is a story of fighting your fucking neighbors. So this is Ohio Caverns. There's a lady there just for scale. And so this is where you walk into it. There's 2 tours on this one. There's the historic tour, which I very much, you should definitely do to get all the history of the caves and how it opened. And basically there was this 17-year-old named Robert who was a farmhand for the property owner in 1897. He knew about this sinkhole and he sort of wiggled his way. I think it was like 800 feet he went the first time before he turned around and was like, holy shit. So he goes to the owner of the property and they immediately see dollar signs because you got to think like 1897, you're like in the middle of this sort of weird Victorian era where, I mean, they're fucking eating mummies. Like they don't really care about history. And there's a lot of sideshows and just exploiting whatever you can. And a lot of like snake oil salesmen and like all this sort of grifting and like, how do we get money? And so basically the guy, I don't even remember his name, but whoever owned the property decided immediately that they were going to open this to tourism. And I should have put more pictures up.
Well, just for context, in this period, like you're saying, caving was a really big tourist attraction. So anytime you found a cave on a property, most people try to monetize it. And people would come from all over to see them.
Yeah, it's such a bummer. So, okay, this picture was not taken in 1897. But you see, like, he's down there smoking a pipe and, like, touching shit. So, like, we've come a long way, baby. But in the cave, sadly, because of that, it became kind of a lover's lane, and people would pay to go in. And what was kind of genius, though, was that the landowner had a certain amount of oil lamps. And he would send you in. You had to go in with his lamp. And then he knew at the end of the day, if there were not enough lamps in that got turned in, that he would have to go and find your fucking ass and pull you out. But I guess probably a lot of babies were conceived in this fucking cave. One of the sad things is there are so many people that signed the freaking cave, which is a major bummer.
Their handwriting is so good, though.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but it does not belong in this fucking cave. That pisses me off. So I'm trying desperately to add photos as I chat. But there was a lot of signs of man in there. Now, where I went, there's 2 tours in there, the historic tour and then the natural wonders tour. Historic tour was just me, my friend Marie, and this beautiful couple that was celebrating their 56th anniversary. And I kept stealing their phone, just being like, let me take a picture of you guys together. Or like, you look so cute, whatever. And so it was totally nice, very just like slow walk. All caving is, they're not trying to get you through there. They're trying to show you every little angle. And totally fine, beautiful, cool. Then the second tour, all of a sudden, there were like 400 motherfuckers in there. And let me just go on a side quest for a second. Like, people need to learn how to behave. There was this family that was behind Marie and I. And I don't know if there's ever been closer to people getting their clock cleaned in that fucking cave. The entire time they were behind us, like, well, I don't know. I probably need to get her something for Mother's Day, but I just don't even think I want to. Well, I've got to get to the airport. Well, isn't that the guy that you got in the fight with? Like, shut up. Like, we just paid $72 to go in these fucking caves. Like, shut up. Because you're all in a line. This Ohio Caverns is much skinnier. And to walk through. Definitely no mobility issues. There's a lot of stairs, and it's very narrow. So if you can't put one foot in front of the other and kind of lean, it's going to be a hard time to get through there. And so because we're all in a line, then that means that the lady that's telling us all about the caves is like way up there. And so it was real hard to hear her. And like, I want to hear about her and not about you getting to the fucking airport, sir. Whatever kind of nonsense that you need, because there are a lot of people in this world that can't have silence that makes their brain crazy. Your lack of silence is making my brain crazy and my fist crazy. And like, shut the fuck up. So it was like me and this other guy, and he had like crossed like rifles on his shirt. And I was like, yeah, me and that guy, we're going to fucking handle business. But anyway, they talked through the whole fucking thing. So I can't tell you much except for what I saw. And so I will show you some pictures from there. First of all, we already talked about my Samsung Galaxy J7 Prime. So it does.
Do you think the guy called his Plight?
Don't know, don't care. I do have, okay, let's just move on to, oops, remove from studio. Okay. These are the professional photos, people. Don't think that I fucking took this with my 2016 cell phone. But as you can see, Ohio Caverns has a lot more of that iron oxide present inside the cave. And it has a very different structure. So there weren't too many places where you had to like duck for a little second. So plenty of space to be able to walk through. And like any other cave, they really are only bringing you to the most like tourism. There's like plenty of pockets of crawling around and doing shit that they're not having you do. But both of them are a very good sized tour. Neither one of them are so crazy that you can't just like take your breath. Like it's not, except for the stairs. The old people had a little trouble with the stairs, but we were in no hurry and they took their time and we all got out just fine. So, but you can see that that iron oxide coming through that limestone has really caused it. They call it the most colorful caverns, but it's still a little bit monotone to me. But then I guess I grew up with the Disney Small World, whatever it is. Okay. Now, I've got a great picture, clearly not my own, of how these stalactites are formed. And Ben, I don't know if you can do it, but after I show a picture, if you could dump it so that I can start adding more. So you can see these crystals, essentially, this calcium carbonate being formed, that little drip that's hovering there. Oh, you can't delete them?
Nope.
Okay, thanks. That little drip that's hovering there is sort of solidifying right before your very eyes. But I mean, this takes thousands and thousands of years for these little stalactites to grow. And unfortunately, what we saw inside Ohio Caverns was a lot of those had been snapped off. And that wasn't even the ones that were super bad. The ones that, the rooms that were really fucked with aren't even on the tour anymore. So the horrors that I saw was like the best part of the cave. There was a lot more of this gray scale, which in Kartchner Caverns was explained as where the bats were roosting. I don't know that to be the case with Ohio Caverns, but I can tell you all about this poor woman who might have had to buy a Mother's Day present for somebody she didn't like, because that's really all I got out of this.
Oh, bat guano. That's perfect.
Yes, maybe she should have gotten her some bat guano. So, and then they did have little soda straws and like the tiniest little stalactites, but it wasn't the same as, I mean, obviously Ohio and Tombstone, Arizona have very different climates. So I think they said that Kartchner Caverns is like a 72 degrees year round. And I think Ohio Caverns is like 54 degrees year round. And it remains really constant because there's not a lot of airflow going on in there, and it's so deep under the ground that it's not doing like, frost cycles or anything. So these tiny, tiny little soda straws that are just starting, but they also think that this cave is also 200,000 years old. So a little older than me. Now, I actually took this photo, so get ready for the greatest photo you've ever seen. Oh, it's actually kind of in like focus. Well, look at me with my technology. So yeah, just more people signing bullshit. In fact, there was like this one point where the lady was like, and then this one is like bright red. It was the color of my lipstick. And does anyone know how they wrote with such bright red? And people were like guessing and guessing. She's like, anyone else? Anyone else? I'm like, okay, it's lipstick. Can we just fucking move on? Like, we want to see the cave, not some fucking hag's lipstick from 1906. And she was like, that's right, it's lipstick. Like, fucking go. I want to see the cave. So anyway, yes, that was.
What kind of lipstick was it?
Listen, I was mildly interested in just seeing what color they wore back then, but it's basically like what I'm wearing. Okay, I took this picture too, and I mean, just pretty when it comes to all that iron oxide creating like rust patterns. Now, as you're going through there, you're basically following a big like crack in the ceiling, and it sort of splinters off, but essentially where this like crack or crevice sort of goes is sort of the path that you follow as well when you're going through it. Here's another little one. Now, this cave was very active. It was a lot of water, and that might be the reason why the stalactites and stalagmites aren't as well formed as Kartchner Caverns, which has more time for each one of those drips to really fully dry. Whereas this one, like the water is flowing a little bit more. I got many, many, many cave kisses as I went through this. It is lit very beautifully. And if you're in Ohio, I understand this is like the best cave in Ohio. This was really beautiful. And that's just enough for one person. That is like standing height as you walk through there. So you don't have to duck or anything. And I found it, the cave bacon. Found a little cave bacon in Ohio. Now, one of the things that's really sad, and maybe I've got a picture of it. Let me add the next one. Yes. I think you can see it in this one. Oh, no, I think that's a lot of... Well, one of the things in Ohio Caverns is that obviously when it was a closed system, there was never any moss growing inside the cave because it was a closed system. But now that humans have been introduced, and as people walk in there and climb around on shit and touch shit, and you've got spores on you and all this stuff, they've got a considerable amount of moss growing inside. Now, the moss adheres to the calcium carbonate, and it just creates this slippery texture that kills the cave, essentially. So that might be the end of Ohio Caverns, like truly growing.
Well, so with the crack in the ceiling, do they talk about it falling eventually, like it's going to collapse?
I mean, so with limestone, I said, does it ever get flooded? And she said, no, it just comes in so gradually that nothing like that happens. But I mean, who knows? There was like a stalactite that was almost meeting a stalagmite, almost. And they said 50 years ago, oh, it's going to take 50 years and then it'll totally touch. And they're still totally waiting for that to happen.
Well, so when I was a kid, we went to this cavern, a local cavern called Cumberland Caverns. And one of the things they told us inside was that it's eventually going to collapse. And you can see like cracks in the ceiling. I don't know if it was a limestone cavern or what it was made of, but they had reported a collapse at some point in the past 20 years when I was there. So I just wonder if it's common for these to eventually collapse.
Well, I mean, the limestone is definitely eroding. In fact, in Ohio caverns, there are places where you can see tree roots growing into the cave from way, way up there. So, tree roots can bust through a lot of stuff too. So we'll just fingers crossed. We'll see.
Which, for our audience who may not know, limestone is very water soluble over time, which is how these caves form. So eventually it gets washed away entirely.
Yeah, and honestly, in Ohio caverns especially, it's so smooth. Like you can just see a river being in there. But they say it never floods, so I don't know if that's just old river or how that forms at that point, but it's pretty cool. And okay, so Ohio caverns. It was pretty cool. I don't know, like, if I'm ever in Arizona, it is so worth the drive to go over to Karcher Caverns again. I've been a couple of times. I've brought other people with me. It's the best place. Ohio Caverns, I feel like I checked the box, and I don't know that I would go again, but it's very cool. Is it a must-see? If you only have one place to go, I would say go to Karcher Caverns. And don't go to Carlsbad Caverns. Like, we can't be throwing our money at places that are fucking up this planet. It's cool and all, but I don't know.
As far as Ohio, just don't go to Ohio.
Just don't go to Ohio. There's a lot of good candy there. There's candy everywhere.
There's candy and there's corn.
And candy corn.
And candy corn.
Which I love. You can't take... Look, candy corn, black licorice, circus peanuts. I guess I just love all the disgusting things in life. Because
apparently candy corn. They made like one batch of candy corn in 1903, and they've just been recycling it ever since.
Urban legend. I've read the bag.
It's confirmed.
Okay, where's your favorite place on this planet? While I load these pictures.
Oh man, I don't know. Really like the redwood forest in California.
Oh.
I really like Mount Shasta.
I never went to
I've never actually been to like the park. I've only driven past it, but when you're driving past it, you start to realize how fucking massive it is. When it takes like an hour and a half just to go from one side to the other along the highway. It's a really beautiful area. I really like Eastern Tennessee as well.
Oh, yeah, you sent me like a picture of a waterfall from there long, long ago.
Oh yeah, so we have a waterfall here where I live. I think it's 176 feet, and that's actually the biggest falls along this maybe like a mile of river where they have 3 separate falls, and so it just gradually gets larger and larger to this main fall and opens up like a canyon wall and a huge drop. It's really pretty.
I do like waterfalls, but they remind me of the book Jurassic Park a little too much. Okay, where am I at?
Where's there a waterfall in Jurassic Park?
In the book. I don't know. I watched the movie once, but in the book there's definitely the kids hide behind this waterfall, and like the super fucking T-Rex or whatever comes to get them, but he can't smell them through the waterfall, and that's how they live. It was a very dramatic scene, but it's been a long time since I read it, so God only knows.
I'm not remembering that, but okay.
Okay. All right. And speaking of my low tech, all right, let's get to, so we went to the Gothic Market, then we just drove straight to Columbus. I'll get into the no-tell motel in a minute, but I don't know if I added that picture twice. Yes, I did. All right, I'll add as we go. I took a lot of photos, but they're all terrible. At some point, I was trying to take a picture of this like leopard and these 2 like photographers with cameras that could see the dark side of the moon from where they were standing, like just like decided to get in my way. So I just took a picture of them with the fucking leopard instead. So thanks for that. Here's a picture between their shoulders. There's somewhere a leopard in there. That's the best picture I got. So there you go. I took a picture of some elephant butts. That was pretty cute. I guess I was kind of ear hustling the lady at the zoo, and she was basically saying that this is like an experiment of sorts to see if they can have like a full family unit with the baby growing up with mom and dad. And so far, so good. She said sometimes they have to interfere a little bit. But it's always like so cute to see the elephants. Although I think for me, the elephants is like the hardest part of the zoo because they're just so smart and it just must be miserable for them. And, they need a lot of space. And if I could take a side quest about elephants, there's a documentary about these two elephants, Shirley and Jenny. Have you ever seen it?
No.
I think it's called The Urban Elephant. And it's about these elephants. And Shirley was born in like before the 50s. And so she was already in her 50s, like during Y2K. She was a circus elephant. She got fucked up by another elephant. So she had this like terrible back leg issue. And like it was all crooked or something. And she was at the Louisiana Zoo. I don't remember where she was. And she had this zookeeper. His name was Solomon. The sweetest, I'm going to tear up. The sweetest man who fucking loved this elephant. He cared for her every day and like gave her little baths and like just petted her. Like they were just such good friends. And the zoo was just like, yeah, we can't do this anymore. And he had been caring for her for 22 years. And they both loved each other. And so this was so fucking emotional. And so the documentary shows him being the one who has to get her on the truck because she's going to go to Tennessee. There's a big elephant sanctuary where you're at in Tennessee. Huge, where the elephants are just allowed to actually run and go into mud bogs and do whatever the hell they want and just have a groovy time. But she hadn't seen another elephant for 22 years. What part of my brain is all this information stored in? I don't know, but I would like to use it for firefighter engineering because I've got some tests coming up. So if Shirley and Jenny could just get the fuck out of my head for a bit and start focusing on friction loss and tools.
This is way more entertaining.
I go to take my engineer test and they're like, okay, so we're going to pump from a
I'm
standard.
going to tell you about fucking elephants here.
Okay, but Shirley was in the circus and she actually was like fired. But so, okay, Shirley had lived this whole life. In fact, there was like the circus boat that had like capsized and they had rescued her. And like she had been through some shit before she went to this, like, I don't know if it was Louisiana Zoo or someplace. But anyway, she goes to Tennessee to the sanctuary. And her keeper, this guy Solomon, has to put her on. And like he had to put a chain around her foot. And like they had to winch her into this truck, which she's very nervous. She grew up in the circus. She does not like this. She does not want to go anywhere. And so I'm sure it was really emotional for Solomon, but they get her to this new sanctuary and she's in this crazy, it's like kind of an airport hangar sort of place. And there's big bars, like 6 inches around of steel between Shirley the elephant and all the other elephants that are off in the plains that are like eating their snacks and having their day. And then they usually come in at night, probably to get fed or whatever. And so these elephants are coming and going. and they're kind of checking each other out, like through the bars, like just sort of feeling each other and like saying hi. And she's kind of weirded out because this is the first elephant she's seen in over 2 decades. Solomon has the chance to like give her like one last bath, and he starts tearing up. So then I start tearing up because, like, dude, you can't watch this documentary. If you could, this is how you know, ladies, if you think that you're dating a sociopath, have them watch The Urban Elephant. And if he doesn't tear up, you gotta go.
That's it. That's it.
It kills me. So Shirley's getting her little bath, and Solomon's like saying goodbye to her. It's too much. Okay, so then this other elephant comes in. She's the last one to come in for the day, Jenny. Rod, are you fucking lying? Rod said, just hearing about it makes me tear up. You better not be fucking lying. So Jenny comes in. Jenny is the last elephant of the day, just by happenstance. And as soon as Jenny comes into this like airport hangar place, the 2 elephants just start wailing, and their trunks are like in, and they're just like touching each other all over, and they're totally freaking out. And they're bending the bars, these 6-foot, like 6-inch steel beam like poles are bending because the elephants are just like banging into it. And they're freaking out. Like they don't want the elephants to get injured, but they also don't want to like take the gate away from between the 2 of them, because like what's going to happen? What if they fight? Like we don't know, but they're going to get injured. And so they kind of just panic, and they're like, we've never seen anything like this before. So they take away the bars, they roll that gate away, and the 2 elephants just are embracing, and their trunks are going, and they're just doing elephant noises, and they're just going fucking nuts. And they're like, what's going on? So they find out that Jenny was in the same fucking circus as a baby elephant as Shirley was. And they haven't seen each other for over 2 decades. And they know each other. And so the 2 of them are just the best of friends. And there's all this footage of them like bathing each other and just like being together all the time, just like 2 giant elephants smushed together, just like, you know, being like best friends and everything. And it's just such a sad story about like what we do to these fucking animals, that that they have to like be in a cage because we want to look at them. We want to look at their stupid butts and take a picture. It's just, it's terrible. I don't think that every animal should be in the zoo, but tonight I do want to talk about an elephant, or an animal that I think should be in the zoo, and it's not an elephant. I want to talk about the Tasmanian devil. Okay, wait, no, I do have some more pictures of the Columbus Zoo to share before we get on to the Tasmanian devil. Okay, so we have our little elephant butts here. Good. All right, our cute little elephant butts. Okay, then they had a carousel. I had to take a picture of it because it just reminded me of my youth, and I had to run away from the carousel because I was crying, and I didn't want Marie to see that I was standing there crying at a fucking carousel like an asshole. But it just reminded me of being a kid and my dad giving us a quarter to go get on the fucking carousel, and then he would lift us up and go run outside the gate and take pictures of us and wave at us every fucking time we came around. Every single time Dad was there waving at us. So there was a goth club at the Columbus Zoo, so that was good. I got to watch the bats hanging there. And it's so weird because you think about their wings as being these like flappy, hairy things, but they're actually more of like a membrane. They're very stretchy. It's so odd. I mean, this is just a still photo, but you really should watch them move and see the layer beneath it. It's very, very, very weird. There were a few attractions there. I did get to ride a hammerhead shark for $1.50, so that was good. But so we're looking around. Obviously, I'm an asshole. We all know that. And I saw the most majestic motherfucking thing I've ever seen. I don't know if there's any artistes out there, but I saw these. There were these fiberglass fucking manatees. They were like 8 feet tall, and I fucking lost my mind. I just wanted to have one so bad. I really think.
Are those like sculpted by Da Vinci?
They were so rad. Don't take those away from me. I loved those. They were just so stinking cool.
They look like they have Down syndrome.
I just wanted one. I don't know how I'm going to pull off this heist. I just know if they go missing, don't come to my Michigan lawn for them because I'm going to have them.
We're just going to edit this part of the show out. This is incriminating information.
They're going to play this at my trial. It was premeditated. Okay, one of the things that I didn't like about the fucking zoo was they had all kinds of stuff that, like, it ain't at the zoo. Why
Yeah,
can't
like,
you
where's
have
that?
a real animal there? Like, there was a lot of dinosaurs. I didn't take a picture of it, but there were these weird things that you could, like, ride. You could pay to ride them. They were kind of like a scooter, but you're riding an animal. And they had all these, like, fake unicorns and bullshit. Like, you're at the zoo. And the zoo has some of the craziest creatures imaginable. So why are we doing dinosaurs? This ride.
What's your favorite dinosaur again?
Bro, you know my favorite dinosaur. It's Parasaurolophus.
Parasaurolophus, of course. I'm guessing they didn't have one of those at the zoo.
They did have a Parasaurolophus. It wasn't a real one, but they did.
No, they didn't find like little amber mosquitoes and they're going to start cloning it.
No, they did not.
That's a shame.
Yes, they had a whole dinosaur ride. It was $4. I'm cheap, so you just get a picture from the bridge. Okay, on to my favorite animal at the zoo, the Tasmanian devil. He's telling me a secret there. Don't think he's not. Okay, the Tasmanian devil. First of all, can I just get pissed for a second? The only gift shop by the Tasmanian devil, like within 7 miles of the freaking Tasmanian devil, where you know that if they have any chance of selling anything Tasmanian devil, would have been this little kiosk, and for whatever reason, it was fucking closed. All my life's treasures
I heard you were coming.
are in this locked shack. It was very upsetting. Super upsetting. All right, I've got many things to load for the Tasmanian devil. But
so what are some facts about the Tasmanian devil? Because when I came to the show tonight, that's my primary thing. I wanted to know more facts about the Tasmanian devils.
I mean, this is the stupid thing. Like, Marie makes fun of me because I make friends with everyone, but I'm literally like ear hustling other people as I'm looking at the Tasmanian devil, and I'm talking to them about the Tasmanian devil, and everybody's learning about the Tasmanian devil. And is that me in the corner? Is that what you're doing? Is that me?
Taz. That's Taz. You don't remember Taz?
I do remember Taz. We'll get to Taz. Because Rich said a couple weeks ago that he thought that my personality was totally Tasmanian devil. I'm just like,
turn into a tornado and spin around.
It's just the candy necklace talking. Okay, so Tasmanian devils, they're kind of small. They're like the size of like a skunk or like a small dog, not like a chihuahua, but like, I guess maybe like a pug. They'd be like the size of a pug, about 30 pounds. I don't know what a pug weighs. My dad's pug weighed like 90 pounds and died of being fat, but they are a marsupial, that's how you say it, where they give birth to live babies that hang out in a pouch, and they have mommy's milk, and then they get big enough to leave the pouch, and then they become wild, rambunctious little joeys that run around and do all kinds of good things. They have, for their size, and let's get pictures of some Tasmanian devils, because we came for the Tasmanian devils. For their size,
feature of the show.
They have the biggest bite pressure of any animal their size, biggest. So They fucking rock.
So
And
they could fight like a lion or a tiger.
they're not like honey badgers, although I think there's like a video of like a Tasmanian devil versus a honey badger like fighting. I didn't want to see it, but I did see like the title of it. I don't want to watch that shit. So where's my
What
picture?
if they fought a T-Rex? Who would win?
T-Rexes don't have any little hands, so they can't even reach them.
Good point.
They are scavengers, so they would rarely like hunt anything or want anything alive. They, in fact, that's one of the things that's really great about them and why they're really trying to get the Tasmanian devil to live, because they've got this devil facial tumor disease going on that we'll talk about. And so they're going to go, they're endangered right now, but if left to their own devices and if not protected at these zoos, they would go extinct because they've got this, it's a cancer, it's a tumor disease. So it is a cancer, but it's a contagious cancer, and they pass it to one another. Okay, first of all, let's get some pictures here. So I know you're wondering, where the fuck is Tasmania? Tasmania is the tiny dingleberry hanging off of Australia. It is its own island. They say that there were Tasmanian devils all over Australia, but then they died out due to factors, and then they were only in Tasmania. So let's see the cutest. Let's see a baby Joey. How could you call this little thing a devil? It's so stinking cute. And one of the reasons why they call them devils is they like to fight each other over, food. They're scavengers, so they find a carcass. They totally live as packs in these social structures, and they have the craziest vocal range. I did take a couple of videos that are subpar at best, but none of them actually yelling. And they make sort of a like, they do make that Tasmanian Taz cartoons sort of sound. Let me show a better picture of them looking so cute. Aw, here's a little buddy. They're just so cute. Their ears get very, very red because that's how they cool off. They put all that blood into their ears. Here's a better one from the side. And so you can see like their structure is sort of like that Taz cartoon, in that they're very like chest heavy, and they have these thick fucking necks, if you even call that a neck, and their jaw muscles wrap all the way around behind their ears. They eat bone, they shit the bone out, they don't give a shit, they just eat it. Cartilage, everything, they just eat it. They are total just monsters. And they got these like stubby little tails. But what's really exciting is like they just have this like fun, crazy, exploratory personality where they're always like looking for something. They're always like stopping and sniffing the air and running around and making
That
noise.
would make a great meme.
That picture?
Yeah.
What would you title that picture? Showed this. Did I show this picture? Look how fucking cute they are. Look at him. He's all derpy. He's like the perfect little monster because he's just like scary enough to be creepy and like so derpy and dumb.
But you two know.
He's just so cute. Fucking love him. Anyway, they only have Tasmanian devils at 6 zoos in the U.S. So there's LA Zoo and San Diego Zoo, which I've seen. St. Louis Zoo, which is an awesome zoo. It really is. It's first of all, it's free. It's beautiful. There's all these big mature trees in there, so you're walking in the shade. And the enclosures for the habitats are beautiful. They have a lot of enrichment. The animals were all very happy. The Columbus Zoo, I was like the first person there, very excited. But they had a lot of dirty enclosures that were there. Now, it wasn't like the Indianapolis Zoo, which was just dog shit. I didn't share any pictures of Indianapolis Zoo, but needless to say, I literally stood there. Well, some animal was eating another animal in the enclosure, and a little enrichment for the kid. And this fucking kid is crying with his dad, and I'm just like, oh my god, can we just like get somebody here, like help, like eating each other, like, and there wasn't anybody like fucking working there. Also, Indianapolis Zoo is one of those places where they don't take cash anymore, and so I had to fight them about that because they want to like, you know, like going to a concert now, or they want to put a tracker up your ass while you're like at the concert. Like, what are we doing here? Lame. But I pulled up and I had cash, which is still legal tender as far as I know. And the girl in the parking kiosk was like, we don't take cash. Like, it's money. And like, you actually make a full $10 when you take cash. Like, you don't make a full $10 when you swipe a card. You don't know anything about that, but trust me, you will. So anyway, and then to get in, you had to like buy your ticket online beforehand, and you couldn't do it there. And there were like 43 employees there that would swipe your QR code, but there wasn't a fucking person there that would sell you a ticket to get in. Indianapolis Zoo was so jacked.
Don't come to our zoo. Please stay out.
Miserable. The habitats were like barren. They did not do a good job. It was really dismal. I was not happy with Indianapolis Zoo. But St. Louis was beautiful. It really was very well done. Of course, I came from Los Angeles, and the LA Zoo is really good. Santa Barbara Zoo is very good, a smaller one, but they also have some weird stuff. San Diego Zoo, I think, is like one of the top zoos in the entire world.
Yeah.
And they have huge like safari planes where you can like take a safari truck and like actually go out as these animals are herding and running around like they would in nature, because it is nature. They're not in bars like being stared at through glass. So, and I grew up, we had Marineland, I think it was called, which was basically just like an aquarium zoo, which was very cool. Shamu was there, killer whale and stuff. What other zoos? But if you're in the Illinois sort of area, there's a small zoo that I wanted to shout out, and it's called Scoville, I believe, Scoville. And it's a small zoo. You're not going to spend all day there, but boy, does it pack a punch. They've got a lot of really great stuff in there. Bald eagle, they've got wolves, they've got like big stuff. But my favorite part of the Scoville Zoo, they had like 50 guinea pigs chasing each other around, just running in a line with all their little butts all lined up. And like, I just lost my mind laughing. It was so fun to see guinea pigs in the wild, just having the greatest time. And they have some crazy birds, and they have everything. But like, you never see just like guinea pigs at a zoo. It was wild. Them just running all in a little train, like making loops through this whole habitat was just hysterical. I would definitely go back to the Scoville Zoo again. It's a small one, but it was really worth a little like
10 out of 10 stars.
It was so cool. Okay, let's get back to the Tasmanian devil. Okay, so LA, San Diego, Columbus, Toledo, which I was supposed to do Toledo the next day, but we took so much time at the Columbus Zoo. I really saw everything. Although the three-banded armadillo was still sleeping, and so was the honey badger. I was a little bit upset. I'll have to go back to Columbus Zoo because I do love me those. Fort Wayne, which is also another really world-class zoo, is a good zoo. And St. Louis, which I already mentioned. So, okay, so these, now, here's where the pictures start to go off the rails because I took these. So, you know, quality is incoming. And how better to show you my resume for National Geographic than this blurry piece of shit that I swear is a Tasmanian devil. And also, before the show, Ben was like making fun of me. He's like, what, do you have a picture of a Tasmanian devil licking his ass? Yes, Ben, I do. There you have it.
Boom.
And so the thing that's so wild about the Tasmanian devil is they never stop moving, just pacing, and not pacing like out of like stress, but just running around having just the greatest time, just like on the move. So as far as zoos are concerned, they're a really good bang for your buck if you can get one, because they're very active. And so no matter where you're standing, you're not going to be worried about like, oh, another animal that's like hibernating in its fucking thing that we're not seeing. They don't take up that much space. And he was just cruising around having a fantastic time. He would stop every once in a while and sniff the air. I got a picture of that. And this is when we became friends. Look at him looking all cute. But they never stopped moving. And I probably spent, I don't know, you could probably ask Marie. She's probably going to tell you I spent half an hour at this fucking exhibit, but it was worth it because he is just so cute and so fun, just doing laps, running around, getting crazy. Let's see if I have any other pictures of him. No, I don't. So let me go to my videos.
Yeah.
And can you play those?
Yep.
Gallop. Yeah, that's the best video. This is, you know.
They really do move.
Yeah, they just keep on cruising. It's really fantastic.
He's probably seen like every inch of that enclosure a billion times, and it's like, oh yeah, it's
No.
new this time.
But there's like a manic energy with the Tasmanian devil where it's just all new. Like they're just so happy about life, and like there's just like an excitement going on there. And just I love that Tasmanian devil like energy. They're really just they have a good time. I think that he has a mate in there, I think. And because of this devil facial tumor disease. So basically, what the hell? There's a giant bug crawling above my head. Oh, it almost like fell, and it was probably going to go in my fucking mouth.
That's probably where it would go.
It's a stop. Fuck you, bro.
What is it?
It's a stink bug.
All those horrible stink bugs.
It's not a California stink bug. It's the like Michigan stink bug. Like the California stink bugs are like those shiny black ones that put their butt up in the air and go whatever. You have no idea.
These ones, if they bite you, you die within 5 minutes.
Listen.
And they'll actually they'll spin you up in their web and suck all your fluids out.
Mm-hmm. I've killed like 1,000 of them, so I'm not even gonna hear that from you because
genocide.
Oh, stop it!
He's here for revenge.
Well, I understand that they only stink when you squish them.
Yeah.
So I put them in the toilet, and I'm probably going to hell for that. Okay, I did want to show quick two of my other favorite animals at the zoo. This one was asleep, so I just stole pictures off the internet. It's called a 3-banded armadillo. Fucking look at that thing! They're so cute, and they roll up into these little balls. And they've got this like furry little like carpet little peeking out. And you have never seen anything cuter than one of these things run, because they run like that cartoon that goes dinka 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 and makes like that noise. And they're so cool. So it's a 3-banded armadillo. They're from Brazil, I think, and they're not obviously they're not native to America. There's very few zoos that have them. They like to hang out and hide a lot, so you're not guaranteed to find one. I did go back for this 3-banded armadillo to see if I could see it again, and it eluded me. But
do those ones have leprosy like the ones in America do?
No, these ones do not have leprosy. And if I could get one as a pet, I fucking would. And then I also love the giant aardvark. These things are really big. like as big as like an Afghan hound, which they kind of look like, but their little faces are so velvet. And I took a screenshot from a video where you can see how long that little tongue is that comes out, and that's how they eat termites out of mounds and ants out of their little habitats and stuff. And look at that crazy little wiggly tongue coming out into that test tube thing. Totally love those.
Yeah, if you watch videos of those where they're pets, they're actually really playful too. Like they'll play like a dog does.
Yeah, I've seen people have them as pets. I don't know. I could barely handle my rabbits, so I don't know that I'll be getting an exotic animal anytime soon. But I just love them. I just love everything about weird animals. So, I don't know. What do you like to see when you go to the zoo?
I've always been fascinated by the reptiles, particularly snakes, even though like I don't want a snake, and I've encountered venomous ones in the wild and I'm not a fan of them, but I'm fascinated by them. So I like those. And I like the big cats sometimes. And like when I went to the Memphis Zoo as a kid, they had this is not a cat, but it was a reptile. They had one of those alligator snapping turtles. And if you've ever seen one of those, they look like a dinosaur. Like they have the spikes and stuff on their shells, and they're really interesting. So I like that.
They had a lot of turtles at a lot of different kinds of turtles at the Columbus Zoo, to the point where I was like, it's a fucking turtle. Keep going. But there's certain animals I just don't give a shit about. I don't care about the monkeys at all.
Yeah, not really.
And, Okay, so then after the Columbus Zoo, after the Gothic Market, we then went, rodeoing. Where did we go? We went to go do a line dancing.
Line dancing.
I ate a burger because that's who I am as a person, and it was an okay burger. Nothing great. And then we went to this place in Columbus called Otherworld. And if you look online, you can see a million really great photos taken with really great cameras. Me, not so much. So I did take a few photos in there. Every room is its own totally different experience. It was so stinking cool. And everything is sort of like blacklight and fun. Of course, I bought a green wig off Temu and had a great time wearing my crazy eyeball coat and my shirt. I think I've got a picture of that. And so you just cruise around. Like it's like full bar. So you could buy alcohol and hang out in there with your friends for hours and hours. There's so many hangout rooms. Like if I lived in Columbus, Ohio, one, I'd probably be working at this place. But two, I'd be hanging out with my friends all the time. They play good music. I guess they have raves going on in there. It's a totally good time. This was like one of the hangout rooms. How do I get that? I have to remove this. Okay. This was one of the hangout rooms that was playing pretty good music on this weird record player. There's a lot of different like interactive exhibits and puzzles that you can do and everything while you're in there. And it was pretty fun. It was really beautiful. I gave Marie my phone and asked her to take 7,000 pictures of me. And I guess she's as good of a photographer as I am, because she just got 4 pictures when there were 700 taken. Then
I'm curious about this next photo.
Because you see the thumbnail for it?
Yeah.
Okay. I did a lot of the planning for this place. Marie's job was to get us the hotel. And the place that we stayed was a little frightening. There's like blood on the wall next to the toilet paper. That's all the toilet paper you're allowed to have. There was like a peephole next to that looks like a phone outlet, but it's exactly at the height that you would need to be to look into the toilet from that peephole. There's some prostitute left her phone number so you can call her for a good time.
Her
It was
name
a
is
little terrifying.
Kaina.
I have no idea. I didn't
Kaina
read that
was
much into
X.
it. I just saw girl writing and was like, oh. But I was so wiped. I had driven all fucking day and I was wiped. So I did a little face mask and we went to bed early. And then we did the zoo the next day and we spent a long time driving back up. Stopped at a couple of places, had some Mexican food, which was really good. And it was a pretty full, that's 36 hours. It was a pretty full time, I got to tell you. And I was glad to be home. And I haven't gotten sleep yet, but as soon as all this fire training is over, I have
Just hibernate.
a nap. Yeah. So we're at 2 hours. So I want to just quickly do an update on the house situation, and then we'll let everybody go on to their Fridays. I haven't really done anything outside, but I did plant some garlic, which is so exciting that it's like growing. It's really garlic. I don't know what I do about it. I just had some like garlic and I put it in the ground and it's growing, and that's just kind of exciting.
It's kind of how plants work.
I don't know when you harvest it. I don't know how you harvest it. I don't know, but it's too cool and it's growing. I've been working a lot. So like I said, this weekend is my housewarming party. I've been working on the basement a lot. I have had some help. Mariposa is supervising the situation, so that's good. I think I have another little picture of her. And as you guys know or may know, we lost her little sister and her best friend, her only friend in this world. And I'm here to report that we're doing all right. We're doing all right. She's warmed up to me quite a bit, and we're just sort of getting to know each other on a different level. And she's not the cuddly one that Paloma was, but I didn't take a picture of it, but I made a ramp going up my stairs because it's hard for a bunny to take a leap of faith and go up each stair. So I gave her a nice ramp, a carpeted ramp, and we'll see. But so far, she hasn't decided to go up there. Now, as far as the basement situation, it's still a lot of chaos going on down there. But I got to get my shit together because good or bad, next Saturday is my housewarming. And so people will be down there. So I've created a couple of little things that are like finally finalized down there. But it's just a lot of little projects. I finished all of the walls. Well, no, actually, I still have crystals to glue onto the walls. And I've just been working on stupid things like this dumb pillow. And yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, if you've watched the show before, you know how much she talks about the basement. Like, you don't know how much she's really worked on it. It's been pretty much every free hour she's had for the past 9 months, 10 months.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and it's looking amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it definitely looks better than those pictures are. So hopefully I'll have an unveiling. But I got a couple shows in the works, but I'm not entirely certain how that's going to work. Oh, look, I had a little card of Tasmanian devil shit. So because of this devil facial tumor disease that's contagious, they have quarantined them. This is the whole point of talking about the Tasmanian devil. They have quarantined them away from the devils that have the facial tumor disease. And they've put pairs into zoos to repopulate. And so it started with 44 devils, and then now it's up to 500 babies from those 44 couples. And if they don't have the double facial tumor disease, then they can have a perfectly normal offspring and life is good. So they're hoping to just sort of genetically wipe it away. And they don't really know, like cancer, they don't really know how this started. But they've decided that, and it's really awful. The devils, I didn't put any pictures of the facial tumor disease. I'm not a big fan of gore. But eventually it gets so giant and terrible that they have problems eating and breathing and stuff. And it's an awful, awful, awful disease.
Yeah.
And there's no cure for it. So all they can do is just take the healthy ones and throw them in zoos for now so that we can just start to get a healthy population to bring back to Tasmania when this is all wiped away. And so although, you know, people can get really conflicted about zoos and stuff, like the Tasmanian devil in a zoo is really just like our last hope that this like super cool animal is going to like live for your like grandchildren to see. Because, like I said, they are endangered. So, and also they have them on the mainland. They've released a lot of them, and they came up with, you know, there's nothing that humans know better than how to fuck shit up, but they've made a synthetic hormone that smells like a super duper alpha male Tasmanian devil, and they spray it along the highways. And this is how they keep the Tasmanian devils that they've released from going into the road.
Oh, that's not going to backfire in any way. It's not going to like mutate into some kind of killer disease.
I don't know, but that's what they're doing. And so, yeah. Well, my dad is calling. So.
Put him on.
And look.
Hello, sir.
It's a picture of his pug. That's what happens when my dad calls me. It's a picture of his pug. So let me find out. It's 10 o'clock at night here. So I wanted to know what my dad is up to. Because usually he's in bed at like noon. He's like, I think I'm going to hit the hay early. Like
way ahead of me.
Earlier than the super crazy early that you went to bed yesterday. And yes, the answer to that is yes. All right. Well, thanks. I hope that you guys plan some fun vacations. If you're going to be going to any zoo that I want to go to, like invite me. I want to go. I want to see the animals. I have such a great time.
Send Molly your pictures of the zoo animals and we will play it maybe on the show sometime.
And by zoo animals, I don't mean your snake trouser snake, whatever it's called. Don't want to see it. Thanks. I was on Tinder long enough. We're good.
Just do it anyway.
But yes, I am Molly Smith female. And Ben, we didn't really get into who you are and all that stuff, but I think you'll live.
Well, everyone, I'm Ben.
Ben McMillan Composer at gmail.com. So hire him.
That's all you need.
Oh, hey, CJ. You are running way behind, so catch up. But we're about to be gone. And Rod, as always, Rosie, I don't know if you're in the chat, but I think it's somebody's birthday this weekend. You crazy bitch. So I will see y'all next Friday. I'm not sure who I have next Friday. I have to look at it. But now for Ben McMillan's original show ending. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.